felt that this piece needed to be about the big family, and the big family of man, and in this case, the voice of women. And I wanted to see if I could gather significant women together to see if we could turn the earth around and slowly turn it around, and through art and the experience of live performance affect an audience about the need for change. So I wanted each different guest artist to come from the inner life of themselves and where they are in their life experience now, and somehow relate that to a part of the earth. Let them be the earth speaking. But it was also about a very personal thing that might be going on with that particular guest artist. I wanted the younger dancers to have the experience of working with very well-known artists on down the line, the children, the teenagers, so that, again, if we're cultivating the earth, cultivating women, the younger dancers in the piece had an opportunity to learn and be professional dancers with all of you.
The guest artists, who were all, you know, very accomplished and had massive careers and so much experience, able to bring a level of sophistication. We were, I thought, playing in a way the goddess level of women, you know, because there were all these generations. And we needed to rise up to that occasion within the choreography, and then as actors and dancers create an arc within our own work, and that was challenging.
I have a question. Did the younger dancers talk to you? Was there much exchange between the younger dancers and the guest artists?
I was in the first section and the last section. So I had a very long wait backstage. So Amy was doing her second solo to that wild and crazy music, and I was trying to get ready to go back on stage for my section, and the little girls got released from upstairs, and so I was back there like rocking out with my fabric to try to loosen up because it's a long time to wait, and they just were like, and it became our little ritual. So we did a circle dance, and we were like dancing, and we didn't speak. It was beyond speech, but we communicated.
Then it became about teaching, and Robin's a teacher. And so it really became about harnessing the windmills and working together with the mills, and then sort of seeing the younger women sort of learn from you.
All dance is such a commitment to community, and really you have to make a conscious commitment to be on time, to care about each other, to make it all work, and in many ways that's part of the power of and the learning for everybody.
I got paranoid, I would say, for a while about how it was going to come across.
Why?
Because we're in the middle of a war, and there's a certain element of people in the dance community who know me as that I can be funny, and I didn't want to have that as the basic response, that this woman is making fun of war. or making fun of soldiers. In general, as a performer, I was for a while concerned about how this was going to balance itself out in terms of comedy and tragedy and the mix of those two things.
Did that hold you back at all, do you think?
Oh, no, never.
I kept saying that I wanted it to be about a woman needing to protect her living room.
Yes.
And it was much less about war, and it was more about how do we feel safe ever again.
People don't like death. People don't like to be around pain. People don't like to be around illness. People don't like to be around tragedy. And it's here among us in society and in our world. We don't have great ways of dealing with these things, you know. And so here we were, you know, Mary provided a place to put this in this piece, and I felt very. You can't talk about resurrecting the earth without acknowledging the death. There has to be that whole cycle, and that was the bottom. You know, that was the complete death and bottom of the piece, of the cycle of life and death.
One of the things that I'm always struck by with choreographing, whether you're on the receiving end or the creating end, is composers and writers you can do all your drafts and rip them up all alone and no one sees them. But a choreographer has to choreograph on the dancer. And so there's a very, very delicate relationship. It has to be a lot of trust and intimacy. And it can be it can be disrupted or broken by many different reasons. But there needs to be that kind of permission to try things and fail together.
If it had been my choreography on each of these individual people, it wouldn't, I don't think it would have been as significantly diverse as it was, and what would be the point of having them?
In hindsight, when Mary said, I want you to make a skipping phrase, I had no idea that was it. We didn't know each other. I didn't know what I was doing. You know, so, and then she videotaped, she goes, okay, let's do that. I really could come up with better steps, I think, if I'm not like, so for me, I always felt like, oh, I could have done better, but then I started to understand that the spontaneity of it, that it was spontaneous, it was totally spontaneous.
The intent in your action of the simplicity of just regarding this fabric, I said to myself, that's your whole life experience.
Exactly.
Being able to do that and be that invested in something simple like that was really a teaching moment for me.
Thank
I just want to say one last thing about Mama, a Modern Folktale. I don't know why I called it that. It just kind of happened. And I did a lot of research about folk tales. And I just wanted to say one thing, is that the definition of a folk tale is a picture language of the soul. As soon as I found that definition, I was totally freed up, and I said, it's a modern folk tale. That's what it is.